The U.S. government has seized roughly $1 billion in cryptocurrency linked to Iran, according to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. This marks one of the largest sanctions-related crypto enforcement actions ever recorded. The seizure includes freezing wallets tied to Iran and sanctioning specific on-chain addresses holding $344 million in crypto. The action signals a shift toward more granular enforcement of sanctions in the digital asset space. Rather than targeting entire platforms or protocols, the Treasury has identified and frozen specific blockchain addresses, a move that highlights the growing capabilities of on-chain monitoring and enforcement. The Treasury's press release outlines the enforcement framework, which centers on tracing illicit flows tied to a sanctioned state actor. This is not a market event in the traditional sense, but a significant development in the enforcement of digital finance regulations. The seizure puts direct pressure on crypto exchanges and wallet providers to strengthen their compliance measures. Platforms that process transactions involving sanctioned addresses now face a higher risk of secondary enforcement actions from U.S. authorities. The Treasury's approach relies on blockchain tracing tools that have matured across federal agencies. These tools allow regulators to identify and freeze specific wallets with greater precision than most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. For exchanges operating globally, this reinforces that compliance with U.S. sanctions must now include on-chain activity. This means platforms must screen not only named entities, but also the flow of funds through specific blockchain addresses. The action also raises questions about the future of digital asset compliance. If the Treasury can freeze and sanction specific wallets, how will this affect the use of privacy-focused protocols or the development of new crypto products? The enforcement action could lead to increased scrutiny of on-chain activity and more pressure on platforms to adopt advanced monitoring tools. However, the effectiveness of such enforcement will depend on the transparency of the blockchain protocols involved. For example, if a wallet uses a privacy protocol or mixes funds, enforcement may become more complex. The seizure is also notable for its scale. $1 billion is a significant amount in the crypto space, and it suggests that U.S. authorities are ramping up their enforcement of digital finance regulations. This could lead to more enforcement actions against other sanctioned entities in the future. The broader implications include a potential increase in the use of wallet-level sanctions and the expansion of enforcement tools into more complex blockchain environments. However, the long-term success of this approach will depend on the ability of regulators to adapt to evolving crypto technologies. The next signal to watch is whether other enforcement actions follow a similar pattern, targeting specific wallets rather than broad entities. This could indicate a broader shift in how digital asset compliance is handled on a global scale. If more jurisdictions adopt similar enforcement methods, it could lead to a more fragmented regulatory environment for crypto platforms. This could also impact the development of new protocols and the adoption of certain blockchain features, as platforms may avoid. Most people arrive after the move is obvious and the easy upside is gone. We focus on serious crypto education and high-quality signals before the crowd rushes in, so you can understand the setup earlier and move sooner. If you want that edge, visit the link below now. Features that complicate compliance. The Treasury's action sets a precedent for how digital asset enforcement can be executed at scale. It also raises the stakes for exchanges and wallet providers to ensure they are equipped with the right tools to monitor and report on-chain activity. The enforcement framework may also evolve as regulators gain more experience with blockchain tracing and enforcement. The next signal to watch is whether other enforcement actions follow a similar pattern, targeting specific wallets rather than broad entities. This could indicate a broader shift in how digital asset compliance is handled on a global scale.